Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hey, everyone. O genki desu ka? Welcome to my channel. And once again, I'll make a video. Well, this is different than last time, but yeah, I'm gonna make a video about how I explain the generic structure of narrative text. Yeah, that I already choose a story for that. Yeah, and the story was Princess Kaguya and Tale of Bamboo Cutter. And also I forgot to introduce myself. I'm sorry. I'm Bintang, Akbar from class R1J. That's it. And yeah, back to the story. So the story was named Princess Kaguya and the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter. The Tale of Bamboo Cutter, or Taketori Monogatari, is a 10th century Japanese monogatari. Or Monogatari was like a fictional prose narrative which containing folkloric elements. It is considered as the oldest extant Japanese prose narrative, although the oldest manuscript dates to 1592. It was also occasionally known as the Tale of Princess Kaguya, or Kaguya Hime no Monogatari, after its protagonist. It primarily details the life of a mysterious girl called Kaguya Hime, who was discovered as a baby inside the stalk of a glowing bamboo plant. And yeah, we will move to the first generic structure of the narrative text, and it was orientation. The orientation of this story is, oh yeah, as we already know, orientation is basically an opening or something that sets the scene, like where and when the story was happened. In this case, it has happened in Japan, and I think it's a long time ago. I don't know when or exact time, but yeah, it's a long time ago. And also, in this part it was mentioned that there is three characters, which is Taketori no Okina, the guy who found Kaguya Hime, and his wife, and also Kaguya Hime herself. There's actually another character that was mentioned in the next generic structure, and it was complication. Complication is like the part when a problem in the story is developed, which eventually will lead to the climax of the story. And in my opinion, if you compare complication with other generic structure, you will realize that complication is the longest part. Somehow I realized that. As I said in the previous part, there is other character that was involved in the story. And it was 5 noble prince and the emperor of Japan. You know, the emperor, it's like a king, but not a king. Yeah, you get the idea. The 5 princes came to Taketori no Okina's residence with a purpose to ask for Kaguya Hime's hand in marriage. But Kaguya Hime concocted an impossible task for the prince, and agreeing to marry the one who managed to bring his specified item. However, that task cannot be done by an ordinary human. It's just impossible. After that, the Emperor of Japan, Mikado, came to see the strangely beautiful Kaguya Hime, and upon falling in love with her, and asked her to marry him. Although he was not subjected to the impossible trials, and that had thwarted the prince, Kaguya Hime rejected his request for marriage as well, telling him that she was not of his country and thus could not go to the palace with him. She stayed in a contact with the emperor, however, but continued to rebuff his request and marriage proposals. And this part also mentioned about whenever Kaguya Hime looked at the full moon or mangetsu or bulan purnama, her eyes will fill with tears. The reason behind it, it's because Kaguya Hime was not of this world, and she must return to her people on the road. And also, last but not least, the last part of the generate structure, yeah, I said it right this time, is a resolution. We can say that resolution is the climax part, or ending, where the problems in the story were solved. Either is a happy ending or a tragic ending. And I'm pretty sure that this story, this Monogatari, this Kaguya Hime Monogatari, does not end with a happy ending, but with a tragic one. Because in this part, it was mentioned that Kaguya Hime must return to the moon. You know, the moon. Even though the emperor sent many guards around Kaguya Hime's house, to protect her from the moon people, it still can change the situation. Kaguya Hime announced that though she loved her many friends on earth, she must return with the moon people to her true home. She wrote a sad note of apology to her parents and to the emperor, the guy that she loves the most. Then gave her parents her own robe as a memento, or yeah. Then she took a small taste of the elixir of life, attached it to her letter to the emperor, and gave it to the guard officer. When the time comes, the embassy of heavenly beings arrived at the door of Taketorin Okina's house. The guards were blinded by a strange light. And at the end, the heavenly entorch took Kaguya Hime back to Tsukino Miyako, or the capital of the moon, leaving her earthly foster parents in tears. So sad. And after Kaguya Hime was taken to the moon, by the heavenly beings, her parents became very sad and were soon put to bed sick. The officer returned to the emperor with the items Kaguya Hime had given him as her last mortal act, and reported what had happened. The emperor read her letter and was overcome with sadness. He asked his servants, "Which mountain is the closest place to heaven?" To which one replied, "The great mountain of Suga province." The emperor ordered his men to take the letter to the summit of the mountain and burn it, in the hope that his message will reach the distant princes. I'm sorry. The men were also commanded to burn the elixir of immortality, since the emperor did not wish to live forever without being able to see her. The loved one, his loved one, and not be able to live without her girlfriend. So the legend has it says that the word immortality, or in Japanese fushi or Fuji, became the name of the mountain, Mount Fuji. Also, it is said that the smoke from the burning still rises to this day. Okay, that's for me, and I almost forgot about the last thing. The conclusion of this story is, this is not an easy task, This task is not an easy task. Especially the public speaking, or you can say this is not public speaking, literally. I'm like recording myself, but yeah, eventually it turns out that I will send this video to public, and it's the same as public speaking. I guess I should turn more in. However, thanks for watching this video until the very end. And thanks for spend your time for watch this video that has no effort in it. I'm Bintang Akbar, aka Mr. Star. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah.